want to start it off with that. No offensive to anyone being gay or whatever. Anyway, welcome to Pride Month, or Gay Pride Month, which was originally called, now it's Pride Month. To everyone being gay, this is now your month. We go from Asian and Pacific Islander month, as well as my birth month, to now Pride Month. Welcome to Pride Month, everyone. To my gay friends, not me, to my gay friends, have fun for 30 days. You get 1 month, and that's all you got. Like everyone else, black, Hispanic, autism, whatever. Anyway, gay people, congrats, this is now your month. Go and celebrate. You only get 1 month. Now, once June is over, time to go back to being straight. Just kidding. Had to make that joke a little bit. Anyway, so everybody, welcome to Pride Month. To everyone that's gay, friends that are gay, bisexual, whatever, go celebrate. This is now your month. You only get 30 days to celebrate. Well, now, technically 28, counting today. Sorry, not counting today. Anyway, so let me get to the topics that I do want to talk about. Now that that part is over, I have one thing to say about the state of Nebraska. Whether you are far left, far right, white, black, blue, green, polka dotted, whatever, foreign or domestic, from here or not from here, well, originally from here, but yeah, a Biden supporter, a Trump supporter, whatever you are, I have something I want you to know about the real truth about Nebraska. Nebraska is full of triggered pussies. Hold on. Before you somehow jump anything down your throat to me on any comments, I am not saying all people from Nebraska are triggered pussies. Majority of them are. And it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Republican, or Democrat, gay, straight, whatever. This is not just 1 time or 2 times either. This is not just only one experience. There's quite too many to count. I do not want to explain that again. I don't want to get to that can of worms at all. That is the God honest truth. Nebraska nice? BS. The only time Nebraska is nice is for 3 reasons. 1, if the Nebraska Cornhuskers football team is doing well. They suck. Number 2, if they get something in return. Or number 3, if they somehow, if it involves them. Another one. Number 4, if they are rich and privileged or successful. To everyone here in Nebraska, living in Nebraska, from Nebraska, or trying to move to Nebraska, whether Omaha, Lincoln, or whatever other city, my advice to you, don't. It is not Nebraska nice as people say it is. And I can tell you so many people have moved out of Nebraska, out of Omaha and Lincoln, and let alone Nebraska, then into. This happened on New Year's Eve, and I have the news story to prove it if you don't want to believe me either, or you can look it up yourself since you have Google, or Google it. Another thing about Nebraska, it's full of rich privilege, special treatment, and favoritism. Now all of you are going to say, oh, well, that's everywhere, Alex. That's everywhere, AJ42. That's everywhere. Yes, I agree, it's everywhere. But it's not like infested everywhere in all 182 major cities. Don't get me wrong, there's some favoritism in all places, in all countries, and even, yes, in all cities. But as far as the favoritism that I've gotten from high school, from elementary school till now, it has gotten much worse now than it ever was in high school. And don't get me wrong, high school favoritism, yes, favoritism does exist, rich privilege does exist, and let alone special treatment definitely exists. Now don't get me wrong, there's sometimes I will allow special treatment. Like if someone has been to the same bar for over 20 years, I think they should deserve a free drink or a free $20 tab. But that's it. After the $20 tab, you got to pay. You don't get $20 free. Let's say pretend you're there for 20 years, the same bar, or been a member for that long. I understand that special treatment. But if someone does this, well, you got a home run. Here's your lollipop. The other kid gets a home run. He doesn't get a lollipop. That's what you call special treatment. And if anyone says special treatment doesn't exist, you're probably special treated yourself. Same with rich privilege and same with favoritism. Remember, I said rich privilege, not white privilege. There's a difference between being white and rich. You can ask Shaq, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock, Will Smith, or any other black person, and they could definitely tell you that's rich privilege. But remember, Chris Rock did say something. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. It's true. Bill Gates is wealthy. Shaq is rich. You can watch that episode on Chris Rock Never Scared on yourself on your own behalf. Don't gotta explain that. If you don't know, look it up yourself or watch it yourself as well. And if you remember it, you're a good person. Anyway, moving on. Other things to Nebraska. We are the 12th whitest state in the entire country, and that is a fact. And if you think I'm racist, why don't you shove this up your effing ass? I don't lie about this shit. Also, Nebraska, on top of special treatment, they don't give a fuck about sports. I've one time was at a bar, and I don't want to say the bar's name. I don't want to say the name of the person. I've already been through enough hell already. This person got triggered. The general manager, everybody's getting triggered on me cheering for my Atlanta Braves when they're in the freaking world, when they're in the playoffs. This sports bar deserves no respect whatsoever, and it's also the most expensive bar in Omaha, or in the metro of Omaha. That general manager got an earful when I got so mad. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit if it's the Huskers. I don't give a shit if whatever team you follow. But you're not gonna put me down like to make me look worse intentionally. Because you are just a trigger rich privileged motherfucker that doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself, the money, the drugs, and the next bitch he wants to bang. Or dick. Nebraska, you are the land of the rich and the home of the privileged. Remember, I said rich privileged, not white privilege. Learn the effing difference. And if you think privilege doesn't exist, you are probably privileged yourself, no matter what you are. Learn that now. Learn, motherfucker, learn. Learn, motherfucker, fucker, learn. Learn, motherfucker, for learn. I'll go reading Rainbow on your ass too, because I love LeVar Burton as well, and I feel bad for him. Now, don't get me wrong. Should I think he should be on Jeopardy? I like him. Sorry, LeVar, I like you a lot, but you're not fit for Jeopardy. Off subject, back to Nebraska. Nebraska does not know shit about sports. You'd be surprised how many people don't know shit about baseball, heck, even don't know shit about football. And I could tell you a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women, and I've given my experience that I've been to a lot of places, there's a lot of women that somehow talk about football and ask why is that a penalty. I am not kidding you. I have had proof, and I actually have witnessed it. And I've been to a Husker party that when women talk about this and like, why is it a penalty? I'm like, you're the Husker fan. You should know this. You're the football fan. You should know this. Well, congratulations. And don't get me wrong. Not only women don't care about football. Not only women somehow don't know football. There's some men too, like the people that do fashion, like the people that don't give a shit about sports, like the people that are triggered when I talk about sports. And I can tell you a gay bar that does that. They can talk all about this gay shit all they want. That's up to that's their prerogative, but they gave a fuck when someone I talk about sports. I'm sorry, gay people. I love you, but I definitely hate you too. If you could talk all about fashion and anti-Christian and all that shit, and I can tolerate that, you're going to tolerate my stuff with my Catholicism and let alone sports. There are two things you do not talk about in a bar, religion and politics. If anyone says sports, they're fucking uneducated because I can tell you why is there sports on at a bar? Use your brain, not your dick or your pussy. It's religion and politics. You do not talk about religion or politics at a bar. And if you want to somehow do that, get ready for a fight to happen. I pray to God you don't die, whether gay or straight, Republican or Democrat, black or white. Another thing about Nebraska, they're either feminazis or Trumpublicans. Learn the difference between a feminazi and a feminist. I don't have to explain that story again. You already know this already. Neither one is a racist term. Trumpublican is not either. It's a Republican, a specific Republican to be more specific, that thinks Trump, the whole Trump, nothing but the Trump, and Trump is in the Bible or the book of Trump, and pretty much anything and everything Trump. A feminazi is not a feminist. There's a difference between a feminist and a feminazi, a huge difference, and if anyone says they're really a feminist, they're most likely a feminazi. Learn that feminazi is not a racist term, especially you white people. You are the most triggered race I have ever met in my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all white people are triggered, but the most triggered race in general in this entire country is white people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying white people are terrible. I'm Hispanic. I got people that I don't like in my own race. Does that mean I'm a reverse racist? I got black people that are good friends of mine, and I got black people I want to avoid. I got Asians that are friends, and I got Asians I don't want to see ever again. And I got Native Americans that I actually do talk to still to this day, that I haven't talked to in a long time, but I want to reunite with them. And I got Native Americans that should never be talked to or somehow approached. Does that mean I'm racist? Shut up. And also white people. Most of you white people are triggered on almost anything about team names, and that's another thing I want to bring up. A specific state senator who must not be named, or maybe I should say her name, because she's a bisexual, feminazi, triggered senator in Nebraska. Her name is Megan Hunt. Megan Hunt, I don't want to explain about what she did, but I'll explain what she did to me. She brings up something I could give a rat's behind about 4 years ago, and there was a law that she brought up on gender neutral, or something she wanted to pass, gender neutral IDs. I'm sorry, Megan. If you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a JJ, you're a woman. If you have both, I can't help you there, but that's extremely rare. I don't give a rat's behind if you're transgender, gay, straight, lesbian, white, black, blue, green, whatever. Transgender is not natural. It's a choice. Having a sex change and being gay or bisexual is not the same. A sexual preference is not the same as a sex change. If you want to do that, go right ahead, but that is not natural. It's a choice. And it's not a disability either. I'm disabled. I have autism. But most people in Nebraska don't give a fuck about autism, especially this state senator, Megan Hunt. Very Democrat, and yes, was a racist from a friend who knows her very well before she was Megan Hunt and senator, as a state senator. You can ask my best friend because he knows her real well before Megan Hunt was even anything later on. Like every rich privileged mofro or bitch in this country, around the world, she is super rich and her family, especially her dad, is very racist. My friend could tell you a story about this well before I met my best friend, still to this day. So, with Megan, this girl, and this is a true story, I saw this on her Twitter, I cannot believe how stupid she really is. She wrote on Twitter, the Braves, and this is the sports topic I want to bring up, about team names. The Atlanta Braves. I've been a Braves fan for 29 years since I was 5 years old. This state senator, who must not be named anymore, said on Twitter, and I have this tweet to prove it, the Braves team name and logo is racist. Get to the times. Really, Megan Hunt? Really? You are not even a baseball fan, let alone a Braves fan. Stick to politics and your sorry, pathetic Nebraska Cornhuskers, sweetheart. Shut up, Meg. Megan Hunt is not the only politician in Nebraska that deserves no praise whatsoever, whether bisexual, feminazi, woman, whatever. There's also a man, also white, that deserves no respect at all whatsoever, and he also, like Megan Hunt, doesn't give a fuck about mental illness and doesn't understand it either, and thinks, oh, everybody in mental illness shoots a freaking building. And that white person, the number one person that controls Nebraska entirely, is Governor Pete Ricketts. Aside from how stupid Megan is as a Democrat, this Republican, super rich, super privileged, very Republican, very rich, very privileged, Pete Ricketts, and yes, he's a racist. And his dad isn't any better either. Trust me. I know. And my dad used to work for Ameritrade before it was TD Ameritrade and well before the Ricketts families or the TD Ameritrade sold it. I remember because I'm from the city where Ameritrade started, Bellevue, Nebraska, if anyone doesn't know. My dad, when the 1999 or 2000 stock market was about to go crazy, luckily it wasn't so long, but anyway, Joe at the time, Ricketts, um, laid off 3 times in that realm. My dad was the second layoff period. My aunt was the first. Here's the thing about Joe Ricketts. He's also racist. You can ask Creighton University about that story about a few years back. Pete Ricketts isn't any better than his daddy. He said this at the time when George Floyd happened and later on Jacob Blake's situation. This is what he said around to a pastor, also a well-known pastor, in front of Mayor Gene Stothert, Chief Child Smotter, and let alone himself, Pete Ricketts, and many others. This is what Pete Ricketts said regarding black people. The problem I have with you people. It was regarding anyone who was black and regarding George Floyd. Pete Ricketts, you are a fucking racist. And you are a rich, privileged bastard that somehow thinks Nebraska is the best state. Sorry, Pete. Nebraska is the most triggered state, the top 10 worst states for autism support, the number 1 worst state to handle mental illness, the 27th best in natural resources, the 38th best, or should I say 12th worst in police enforcement and police understanding. Oh, I'm going to get to a little more. Nebraska is the 12th whitest state, which I've already said. Nebraska doesn't give a fuck about people with disabilities. I can name plenty of stories. And did I say rich, privilege, special treatment, and favoritism? Well, and let alone white, which isn't the case or the situation, don't get me wrong. Megan Hunt, Pete Ricketts, and they both are different parties. One's very far left, bisexual, woman, and let alone Democrat. The other also, but here's the thing, he's rich, privileged, he's married, he's straight, he's also white, but that's off the point. White's not the issue, don't get me wrong. But pretty much, he's rich and privileged as well, and let alone very special treated. And even more of a rich privileged mofro that also is now even more rich and privileged because his family sold TD Ameritrade, and he did own it. Nebraska also, on top of this, is super uneducated on sports. Believe me, I've been here for too long, and I would love to move if I had the money to move. And if I had $1 million, I'd get the fuck out of here for good. I guarantee it. Anyone on the East Coast or the West Coast, don't think Nebraska's all green acres. Come to Omaha or Lincoln. You'll understand. We're not all farm boys or rednecks or country or banjo guys or some that eat corn or Husker fans. I come from 2 New Yorkers. Both my mom and dad from New York, from the Bronx, and they're Yankee fans. Me, I'm no Yankee fan. Just like Husker fans. They're very passionate, but they're very cocky. Sorry, Husker fans, you are not the nicest fans in the entire country. That title belongs to LSU, and that's a fact. I've had Husker fans get so mad that when it's not a flag, it's not a bad call. Blame the refs. Scott Frost is the best. Stop the steal. Frost is the best coach ever. The next Tom Osborne, 9-3 and rising. Yada yada yada. Frost warning. Frost makes my nipples hard. Whatever about Scott Frost. As far as the Husker fuckers or Froster Bader fans, the typical Froster Bader Husker fucker fans, you all suck. And that's 90% of your fan base. Not all of them are bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm best friends with a Husker fan. Even he's understanding. Scott Frost is no Tom Osborne. He will never be Tom Osborne. And he will never reach the footsteps of Bill Callahan or Mike Riley. Yes, I've said it. Husker fans, you just can't admit when you're wrong. You just can't admit when you suck. You just can't admit when Scott Frost is not your coach. And you had 4 seasons to somehow prove that someone will be better. And somehow Scott Frost is worse than Callahan and Riley combined. That is so sad to see your Messiah head coach, your next Tom Osborne, your the future, 93 and rising, whatever you want to call Scott Frost. Oh, and did I say he's also white, very rich, very privileged? Oh, and did he play for Nebraska? Favoritism. Oh, if you're not a real fan, then you should. If you don't support the coach, you're not a real fan. Does that kind of sound similar to Bo Pelini fans? When Bo Pelini literally called you fair weather fans when you left early during Ohio State game back 10 years ago? You really call him a good coach? Yeah, maybe he was 94 every season, but his mouth fucked him over. Remember this, and this is why he got fired. It wasn't because of him being a dick. It wasn't because of him being too harsh on people. But he said this, quote, if they want to fire me, then go ahead. End quote. That was the real reason why he got fired. And to be honest, he deserved it. Remember, he called you guys, you Husker fans, or Husker fuckers, should I say, fair weather. I'm sorry, Nebraska. I'm not saying all of you are like this, and I'm from Nebraska, so I'm part of this group. But Nebraska is full of pussies. You get triggered on almost anything and everything also as well. The Me Too movement ruined everyone, whether you want to believe me or not. Fuck you. It's true. Get educated. You people, whether you're Democrat, Republican, black, white, blue, green, polka dotted, I don't care. Grow the fuck up. You can't always get what you want. I want $1 million from Tiger Woods, Shaq, and Michael Jordan. You think they're going to somehow write a check to me in the mail for $1 million when they don't even know who the F I am? Use this, not that. It's time for you to use it. And for anyone that thinks bad about me, whatever, whether you know me or not, time to learn about autism. Because if you can glorify anyone that's a Caitlyn Jenner, that's a transgender, you can somehow understand people like a Temple Grandin. I'm autistic. I'm not using it as an excuse. But when some people like you, especially the homosexual and transgender, say, well, she's transgender, you have to respect her. Really? So what? So should I get respected because I'm autistic? Works both ways, little bitch. Don't even try to somehow say, well, that's not the same thing. Well, duh, dumbass. It's not the same thing. But if I have to require to be respect you because you had a sex change or you're homosexual or you're black or whatever, then you would do the same thing for me in return, no matter what the fuck you say. It works both ways. Don't like it? Shove it up your ass. Welcome to Pride Month. To anyone gay, lesbian, transgender, LGBTQIA, elemental P, have fun on your 30 days in June. Once July comes, better go back to being straight. Just kidding. Have a good day, everybody. Nebraska, viva la fuck off. You suck, jackass.